Hello everybody and welcome back to Red Eagle Politics. Make sure you guys like this video down below and subscribe to the channel if you are new. So Joe Biden tonight, he is going to be addressing Congress. It is the State of the Union where he will have to go out there and defend his track record to the American people. Man, he's going to really have to put a spin on it to change things right now because Joe Biden's approval rating sits below 40% in RCP for the first time in a little while. It's been about a month or so, a little bit more than that. The last time it was below 40%, and this is before an election year. Approval is a very, very good indicator of how a president performs. Donald Trump had an approval rating mid to high 40s. That was his popular vote total. Obama had one just around 50. That's what he got against Romney. Bush, he had an approval rating that was like 51%, and that's what he got against John Kerry. And you could go all the way back to the 1970s and even before that. And obviously, polling back then was more sparse, so it may have been a little bit more inaccurate, but still, approval rating is a very important indicator for presidents and their odds of re-election. It's also the same thing in regards to a lot of governors' races. When it comes to things like Senate races, it's a little bit of a, lesser indicator regarding that, but still, it's a very good indicator at the presidential level. And when you look at the issues, there's so much room for Biden to be attacked on because even presidents with approval ratings that are low, at least there's been people in the American public that could point to specific issues and say, okay, well, I don't like the job they're doing overall, but at least the economy's good. At least foreign affairs are doing well. At least crime is down. At least they're doing a good job on the border. But no, not regarding Biden. Because you look at Trump's approval rating, he was always approved of on the economy quite a bit, even if people disapproved of some other state of affairs from time to time. But still, Biden is down on everything. There's nothing that's even close. Economy is a very good indicator regarding presidential elections. And even though certain metrics have supposedly improved, the American people aren't seeing it. And you look at Biden's approval rating on the economy, this apparently, according to his own metrics, his own talking points, it should be a strong suit, but he's down by 17 points on the economy. That's not a good sign whatsoever. Foreign policy, he's down by 22. You look at inflation, he's down by 26. Crime, he's down by 17. Immigration, which is a big one, he's down by 35. He's down even among members of his own party on the issue. Ukraine, which has been something he's really never shut up about, he's down by 8 points in the polls on Ukraine. And in terms of the overall direction of the country, we could pull this up right here, and it will show that exactly 23.1%, that's down from the last time we looked at it. So 77% believe the country is either on the wrong track or they're unsure. Over 2/3 of Americans believe the country is on the wrong track. When that is the case, it's very unlikely that the president is going to be reelected. And there's so many indicators that we could look towards. And I think the primary is honestly one of them. And some people will say primary turnout's not always a good indicator. And they're right that it's not always a good indicator, but it's an indicator. There's a lot of reasons for why certain metrics may be one way or another. For example, oh, look, Trump only got 55% of the vote in New Hampshire, but then you look into it further and there was really no vote for Biden. A lot of Democrats crossed over for Haley, and Trump still set the all-time record for votes in a primary in New Hampshire, which means that it's not like he's actually losing his own base the way so many people may think. And you look at the Hawaii Democrat caucus, though, and this is Biden going up against nobody. It's a closed caucus, I believe. And Biden is getting not even 2/3 of his own party that came out to caucus. And part of that has to do with the fires, and there's a lot of like Bernie bro types in Hawaii as well that might not like how he's handling the Palestine-Israel conflict, but still, like 66%, yes, it's low turnout, but if anything, that proves that there's no enthusiasm for Joe Biden. He lost American Samoa In Hawaii, he's got a lot of trouble. Does that mean he's going to lose Hawaii? Probably not, but does it mean that Donald Trump is going to see a surge in Hawaii? Is the birth of the Hawaii GOP going to finally take place? Could this state be flippable in the 2030s? I mean, maybe. It depends on how well they're doing with like Asian voters, etc., in the state of Hawaii, but Biden is severely struggling even among his own party. This is his worst primary performance to date outside of his loss in American Samoa, which had very low turnout, but still it's embarrassing to be a sitting president and lose caucuses. It's just embarrassing. We haven't seen a sitting president lose a contest that they were a part of since 1980 when Jimmy Carter was losing states to Ted Kennedy. Biden's losing provinces, or I should say territories, to some random guy that nobody's ever heard of. He's on this list here. Jason Palmer won American Samoa. Most people don't even know who that guy is. So you're looking at the big picture. It's awful. He's losing ground in the primary. He's losing ground in places like Michigan, places like Minnesota, key states, and Texas in particular. In a lot of places in this Super Tuesday, he really struggled. We didn't cover the full extent of it in the last video, but you look at this. He lost counties to random people that nobody has ever heard of. Like these Hispanic voters in South Texas, they were giving a majority of their support to just these random people that had Hispanic last names: Gabriel Cornejo, Armando Perez Cerrato, who's like some left-wing populist from California. A lot of those voters probably do end up voting for Trump in the general. A lot of them are ancestral Democrats, and even if they don't, they're likely not going to turn out if they despise Biden that much. He's really struggling with Hispanic voters. That's an awful sign. It means he's not winning Texas. No chance at this point. He's not going to go out there and have a shot in Florida. He probably loses Nevada. He is in, dire straits in Arizona, where even there the polls have him down by 5, and Katie Hobbs was forced to sign some election integrity legislation because her incompetency actually worked out in our advantage for once. And it's like, yeah, Biden's got issues. He's not cracking 90%. And you could say, well, nobody's turning out because he's going to be the nominee anyways. But at the same time, Donald Trump was always going to be the nominee, and he was setting records in 2020 for his presidential turnout. He got, I think, 18 million votes plus nationwide, and that's with them canceling primaries in some big states. Biden's not exactly doing that outside of Florida, but still, his vote share in a lot of these states compared to last year's Super Tuesday was down. You look at Virginia, he got 300,000 votes in Virginia. He was running unopposed. But you look at Super Tuesday in Virginia, last time around, he got 705,000 votes, and he only got 53.2% of the vote in Virginia. And you can say that that primary was more contested, and while that is 100% true, it should not exactly matter at that point when you're seeing that much of a drop-off in turnout. It shows you have no enthusiasm. When Donald Trump was going into states like Texas, for example, he was increasing his vote share. North Carolina increasing his vote share. Biden in North Carolina last time, he got 43% of the vote, but he got almost 600,000 votes. This time, he barely cracked 600,000 votes running unopposed, and that's when they have the down-ballot races the same day. You look at a state like Texas, Biden getting 85% of the vote, 820,000 votes were cast. Biden got 700,000 votes plus in 2020 in Texas, and that's with him getting just barely a third of the vote. So this is a problem, especially when Democrats had a lot of contested primaries, down ballot, their Senate race there, their House primaries, you name it. It's not a good look to see a turnout drop off that big. And when it comes to Virginia, who knows, that state could turn a corner. Donald Trump got the endorsement today, or actually last night, of Glenn Youngkin, the governor there who's very popular. He got the endorsement this morning of Jason Miyares, the attorney general of the state of Virginia. Donald Trump is unifying the party. Joe Biden, on the other hand, not so much so far. which is a problem because, yeah, he's getting X amount of votes. That's true. But still, these uncommitted vote shares much higher than we saw on the Republican side of things back in 2020. It's a warning sign for Biden. He's not well liked. He doesn't have enthusiasm. You could say, well, Donald Trump's favorable rating is not that high, but it's still higher than Biden's is at this point. Biden's approval rating is in the gutter. It's completely in the gutter right now, and it's below 40%. And it's an election year, and it's below 40%. So we'll see how the State of the Union moves the needle, but I can't imagine it really moving the needle all that much at this point. He's even got a few favorable polls to him that have entered the aggregate, and Donald Trump is still leading the aggregate by 2 percentage points, and Biden's in a tough situation. He's down by 17 points in terms of his approval rating. Donald Trump's favorables, and this is personal favorable rating, by the way, you know, he's underwater, but he's not underwater by as much as Biden, and there's people that don't like Trump's personality, but are still going to be voting for him at the end of the day. And a lot of those people disapprove of Biden. The people that disapproved of both went for Biden in 2020. Now they see how bad Biden is. They're swinging back. The pendulum is coming back. Donald Trump is in a very good position right now to go out there and win this election when it's all said and done, regardless of however Biden tries to spin things tonight, which we will be streaming after the State of the Union. We will be giving a recap. We'll be live probably whenever it ends, give or take a half an hour. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching this video. Like this video down below, comment down below, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for notifications so you never miss another video. Follow me on social media. The links are all in the description down below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Red Eagle, out.